This really happened. In 1995, a group of men were ordered to open a grave that had been sealed for nearly 3,000 years. They weren't archaeologists, and they weren't researchers. They were government officials, scholars, and a small team of workers. And they were told one thing: this operation must remain completely secret, because if people found out, everything could lose control. But when they finally opened that grave, some of them froze, some of them cried, and some were never the same again, because inside was something no one expected to see, and only 9 people knew the truth. September 14th, 1995. In a quiet district in the east of Turkey, the morning began like any other day. Shops opened. People walked the streets. Nothing unusual. Until suddenly, something strange happened. People began to step outside, one by one. No one called them, and no one told them anything. But it was as if they were being pulled by something unseen. Shopkeepers, passers-by, people from inside buildings, all of them slowly gathered along the road. And then the vehicles arrived. A convoy, moving slowly through the town, and behind it, a pickup truck. Inside the truck, there was a coffin, covered in green cloth, and written across it were verses from the Quran. No one knew who was inside that coffin. But something was not normal. Some people began to cry. Others raised their hands, making dua. Some said takbir, and they didn't even know why. Because inside that coffin was the body of a prophet of Allah. And only a few people knew this, because this was not a discovery. This was an operation. This was not a story spreading among people. This was something hidden, locked, inside state records, stamped, secret, because what was about to happen had never happened before. Not in modern history, and not in recorded memory. The graves of 2 prophets were going to be opened. This was not done out of curiosity, and it was not done for discovery. It was done because something was coming. A dam. A massive project that would change the entire region. When it was completed, the water would rise, and entire areas would disappear beneath it. Villages, land, history, all gone. And among those lands, there was something else, something far more important. The resting place of 2 prophets of Allah. An order was sent from the capital. Strict, clear, and marked secret. Before the waters rise, the graves must be opened. The bodies must be moved, quietly, without attention, and without the public knowing. Because if people found out, they would come from everywhere, and no one would be able to stop them. So a team was chosen. Not many, just a few. 9 men, officials, scholars, and workers. And among them, there was one man whose presence changed everything. Before anything began, they gathered in a quiet room, away from everyone. A Quran was placed in front of them. One by one, they stepped forward and placed their hands on the Book of Allah. They swore an oath that what they were about to see, what they were about to do, they would not speak of it to anyone, not until it was over. Because if the graves were opened and nothing was found, it could shake the faith of people. And if something was found, then this would become something the world was not ready for. So silence was not a choice. It was a responsibility. The date was chosen. September 13th, 1995. Before sunrise, the convoy began to move. No sirens, no announcements, no crowds, only silence. Inside the vehicles, almost nobody spoke, because every person there understood what they were about to do was unlike anything they would ever experience again. The roads were empty, the morning air was cold, and slowly they moved toward the first grave, the tomb of Al-Yasser, alayhi salam, a place known by the people for centuries. Quiet, old, almost forgotten by the world, but not forgotten by Allah. When they arrived, the tomb was silent, old stone walls, worn by time, and waiting there was the caretaker, a man who had protected the tomb for years. When he heard why they had come, he refused, because opening the grave of a prophet was not something small. It was something people could barely even imagine. Voices became tense, the atmosphere changed, but eventually, after long discussion, he stepped aside, and then one man entered the tomb, alone, Mullah Omar Kalkan. The door closed behind him. Inside, there was only silence and the grave of a prophet of Allah. He slowly walked forward, lowered his head. He made dua to Allah, then spoke respectfully, explaining the necessity. "O Prophet of Allah, a necessity has brought us here. The waters will swallow this place. We came to move you to safety." And then he asked, "Do you permit us?" For a few moments, nothing could be heard, except quiet breathing and dua. Then finally, the door opened again, and the excavation was about to begin.